everybody, Michelle here in Northern Illinois, Zone 5. Today we're going to talk fall plants. Fall is my favorite time of the year. The temperatures drop. I love all of the beautiful colors, the reds and the oranges and the yellows, the fuchsia, the purples, and even sometimes the lighter pinks. I love everything about fall. I like that the temperatures are dropping, and I like that we get a reprieve from the hot summer. Not that I don't love summer, because I do, but I am ready for a change of season. Today I'm going to talk about my top 10 plants that I like to use to either make new pots or refresh pots that maybe you already have that are tired and worn out. And I'm going to take you through my favorite 10 plants that I use to do that. Then we're actually going to go around. I have 3 corporate pots that I need to do, so I'll take you along with me as we do those. I have one that I already did. I did it yesterday, but I'll show you pictures of that one. And I'll be using a lot of the product that I talk about today. Now, most of what I'm going to talk about are annuals. There are a few perennials, and I love to use perennials when I do this, because then when I'm done, I can pop them into the ground and they're there for next year. And so I made flashcards too, so that way you know what I'm talking about. I had to move, it started to rain. So, number 1, heuchera or coral bells. I like coral bells in my pots because, 1, they're perennial. Most of the ones that I'm going to show you are going to grow in zone 4 through 9. So when I'm done, I can take them out of the pot and pop them in the ground. I also like them because they are a lot of different colors and they give you that beautiful foliage accent that you're looking for. And the best part is usually this time of year, if you go around to the garden centers, you can find them on sale. Or they'll bring in little ones like this that are a lot less expensive. And they're the perfect size to tuck into the pots. I like them because they have a lot of really, really good colors. All right, so I like this one here. This one is called Citronella. I love the really, really bright green foliage on it. It's a great accent in the pot. Another one that you could use, and this is not all of them, not even by a long shot, but this one here is by Proven Winners. This one is called Wildberry. Isn't that great? I love the dark purple foliage on that. And when I'm putting these in the pots, I always cut all the flowers off because I just want the foliage. This one here is called Paris. And that Wildberry one is the only one from Proven Winners, because maybe you don't have a Proven Winners near where you live. So everything else that I gathered were non-Proven Winners. So this one is called Paris. There's also one called Green Spice. So if you're looking for like a little bit of that shimmer in the leaf, this might be a nice one for you. I also like some of these tan colored ones, or the pumpkin colored. This one is called Caramel. It's kind of a blend between that really pretty mossy, I don't know if it's a mossy green, but I like the green on it. And then it's got some tan ones in there too. And then this one's called Pumpkin Spice. Isn't that, I love these. So either one of these would be beautiful in a pot. And, oh, and then there's one called Georgia Peach. Isn't that great? This last one is called Forever Purple, and it makes me think of the Wildberry, but it's a little bit more vibrant than the Wildberry. And I thought the Wildberry was really super vibrant as far as like a deep dark purple, but this one really holds its own. So this one again is called, what did I call it? Forever Purple. And again, 4 through 9 on the zones. And they really, really can accent your pot and give you some beautiful foliage from now until, you know, a hard frost takes it out, because they can handle a little bit of light frost. Number 2 on my list are pansies. I really like pansies. Now here they're an annual. I don't know if in some places they're a perennial or not, but I do know that they can self-seed if you put them in the ground. Here I like to use them in the pots because they are beautiful and they flower throughout the whole fall season, and they can handle some frost. And in some places like down south, I think people grow these all winter long, which is kind of a bonus for you. For me, they're going to last until I change my pot out. And they come in all kinds of beautiful colors. I love that about them. Look at that beautiful purple. Oh, I like these too. Some of them are just so delicate and pretty. I had another little batch of them over here where they're like mixed in the pot. Isn't that beautiful? I love these. And these make great pressed flowers. So I like to go around and grab these before they're done, and I'll press them in my book, and I'll use them for projects over the winter. Number 3 are ornamental grasses. And you might already have a grass in your pot that looks fabulous, and you can leave it in the pot and do things around it that are going to transition it into fall. If you don't have a grass, but you want a grass in your pot, using a perennial grass in your area is a great way to achieve that look. And again, you can pop it out and put it in the landscape later. Now, I have here a Japanese bloodgrass. Isn't that great? I love the color on this. Now, buyer beware, because this is a spreader, but I love to use it in the pots because it can't get away there. and it has this beautiful red vibrancy to it, just the right amount of height, and it's not going to get much bigger in the pot. So I like to use these in pots when I'm going to revamp the whole pot, and I need to have that vertical accent, and I need to give it some red color. So I like to use these. Now these actually grow in zone 5 through 9, and they get 12 to 18 inches high and wide. But again, these are spreaders, so be careful if you ever want to plant Japanese bloodgrass, but I do like them in the pot. And the Latin name is, are you ready? Imperata, and this is called Red Baron. So I like this one. Another one that you can use that's a perennial grass is the Hakanakloa grass. And this is going to grow, maybe if you have a shade pot and you want to have some grass. This has more of a weeping habit than it does an upright habit. This one is called areola, and it does grow in zones 5 through 9. It gets 12 to 18 inches high and 16 inches wide. But if you're looking for that draping quality, and again, beautiful fall color on that you can add to your pot to give it some of that drama that you're looking for with a grass. Now, there are annual grasses out there too, and they might be perennial in your area, they might be annual in your area, and so you want to make sure you check the tag. So this is the purple fountain grass, and it grows in zones 8 and below. It doesn't grow here as a perennial, but it's beautiful in the pot. Now, if you have a long enough growing time, you can grow it enough to get it some plumes on it, but you can certainly grow it just for the beautiful color. And if you're looking for something to tuck in that'll give you some vertical height, this might be a good one. Another one that you can use for us here, this is called a Carex. This one is Red Rooster, and see, this will give me the color as well. Now, both of these we grow here as annuals, but in your zone it might be a perennial. But look at that, it's kind of those browns, and this one has a little bit of purple to it, but it really does have that like smoky, browny, I guess I'm gonna call it puce, I know, but I think that's the color, it's like that brown purple. So these would give you some beautiful vertical accents as well. This next one I'm going to show you is Celosia, number 4. And we're going to go out into the rain because some of my pots are pretty big. Oh, they are gorgeous though. So I'm going to show you the upright Celosia, and then I'm going to show you the coxcomb Celosia. They are both absolutely gorgeous. They have those vibrants like fuchsia, yellow, red, orange. That's kind of the colors that you're looking for fall. These are beautiful. Sometimes you can find them in 4-inch pots, but they have a tendency to be kind of leggy in the 4-inch pots. If you can find them in a bigger pot, they're more balanced in those pots, but they're also tall. So if you have a big pot that you want to accent, this might be the plant for you. So let's go take a look at some. Here is a nice grouping in pots that I have of the upright Celosia. We have a combination of both yellow, orange, and like the fuchsia red in the pots. And so this is like one pot right here. So that's like one pot right there. So you'd need a decent amount of room in your pot to add that, or you could just put this in a pot all by itself, or maybe just drop this down into a pot liner, and then how gorgeous is that? I love those. You can also find them with really nice vibrant foliage too. This one is called New Look Red, and even though the plumes aren't as thick as the other ones, it's worth it to get it just for the foliage. Look at that, that is gorgeous. And then check these out. Oh my God, I love these. I just want to take one home just to have this plant. They're pretty tall, but this is the coxcomb, and this one is called Intense Orange. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that flower. I love that. And then check these out. These are called Red Currant. I love these. I think these are so cool looking. What's fall without mums? So mums is on my list, and even though here, mums is not a crazy long-lasting flower when you put them in the pot, we bring a lot of ours in so that we have early season, mid-season, and late season bloomers. A lot of the ones that you'll see around my store are either partially bloomed or they're still in bud, because we want you to be able to get one that's going to last as long as possible. So when you go to the store, even if it says it's a hardy annual, depending on where you live, it might or might not come back. So here in zone 5, it is a coin toss. Flip a coin. 50% chance it's going to come back. Now, the best thing you can do for your mums, if you want them to come back, put them in the ground as early as possible. Keep them well watered, and don't cut them back. Pile some mulch around the base of them, and then see if they start to sprout back up next year. Here in zone 5, they might or might not come back, you know, so I sell everything as an annual, and I plant everything as an annual. I do like to use them in pots, but when I do it, I always do them in the bud stage. That way they'll last as long as possible. Usually within 30 days, I'll go back to my corporate accounts and look at the plants to see if I need to pop out the mum because it bloomed out and put something else in its place. They don't tolerate frost or cold very well as far as that goes, so that will take them out. So I don't use them a lot in corporate pots, but I'll use some of the smaller ones. But man, are they absolutely beautiful. And I like the big pots of them. I also like it when it's all one color in the pot, and I like it when there's like 3 different colors in the pot too, like a tri-colored pot. So I'll just take you around and show you some of the ones that we have, because fall doesn't just have to be bronze, orange, yellow, red. There's pinks and purples, and you can go in that direction too and make something absolutely gorgeous with those vibrant purples and pinks and greens, and you can do that color scheme as well, because it's your house and you can do whatever you want. This one's called Danielle Purple. See how we've got some that are fully open like this here, and then we've got some that the buds are starting to break, and then we've got buds that are closed. That's kind of what you're looking for when you buy a mum at the garden center. See, look at these. Aren't those beautiful? This one is called Confetti Series. It's got a white, and it's got that peach with kind of a pink with the bronzy center, and then the orange bronze there. I mean, they do such a good job blending the colors together. See, and then again, these are barely open. So those are good to get too. These are later bloomers. This one is a coral, so you can see the buds just starting to open. I also like to find the little 4-inch pots, and I like to find them when they're just budded up and they're nice and tight. That way they'll last long in the pot. There's other things going on in the pot that you can look at, and then these will start to open and bud out, and they'll look really great. I use a lot of these in my corporate pots so I can tuck them in and they don't overtake the pot, but they look beautiful in there. And again, in about a month, I'll go back and check the pots out. And if I need to pop it out, it's really super easy. Number 6 on my list, and these are becoming more and more popular, are ornamental peppers. Now, the further south that you go, the longer they're gonna last in the pots. The further north you go, the less they're gonna last in the pots. They can't handle frost. So if you're gonna get a light frost, cover up your pot to try and get your ornamental peppers to last longer. If you're down south, these might be great for you to grow. We still carry them here and grow them because for that time that they're in the pot, they look so cool and the colors are fabulous. Check this out. This one is called Hot Pops Purple. Look at that combination of the orange and the purple in there. Isn't that really cool? Now, these are edible, but they might give you a tummy ache, and some of them are really hot. So if you have kids, don't let them eat them because they might burn their mouth off. Do you need dark foliage? Look at this one. This one is Midnight Fire, and then it's got those purple and green peppers on it. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, look, there's an orange one in there too. So sweet. So you got 3 different colors going on. Ah, love that. This one is called Medusa. Now, as these peppers age, they will turn red. So you're going to have both red and yellow peppers in here. Isn't that cool? I've eaten one of these before. They are hot. All right, and this one's called Salsa. And you can see as the peppers age, they progress into different colors. So you usually have more than one color going on in the pot. So you've got the green in this one, and then you've got, see, the purple tipped, and then you've got the orange or the pumpkin colored. So absolutely gorgeous, and it's just loaded with flowers. So you know it's going to get some more. The next one on my list is a sedum. So number 7, tall stonecrop. Although you could certainly use ground cover sedum as well in your pots. Now you might not have the right circumstances or the right mix of plants in your pots for a sedum. They don't want a lot of water. They actually want to dry out in between waterings. And so you might have the right circumstances in your pot or you might not. So if you're going to plant one of these, make sure you put them with things that like to dry out in between waterings. They store their water in their leaves. They are a succulent. But they are fabulous in the pots if you're going for that purple or pink look. There are a lot of purple and pink ones. This one is called Neon, but there's Autumn Joy, there's Autumn Fire, there's one called Elsie's Gold. They are absolutely gorgeous, and they are hardy and do very, very well once they're done in the pot, and you can put them in the ground. And in the pot, they can take some frost. So if you're looking for some color in the pot that will take you all the way to maybe Thanksgiving, this might be something to look at. Another one that I really like, and this one is kind of a two-tone color, now that is a fall color. It's between these greens and this mauvey pink color. And I don't know, this is a Proven Winners one, and this is the Rock and Grow. It's called Coral Jade. I really, really like this one. I like the moodiness of the colors on it. Isn't that gorgeous? For me, up here in a northern climate where it gets cold and we want our pots to last as long as possible, because pretty much everything, we get our hard frost usually by the end of October, the beginning of November, and so everything is dying. We need things that can handle that frost and take us through pretty much until we do our winter pots. So nothing screams fall more to me than cabbage and kale, because up here in the northern climates, it can handle being cold, and the colder it gets, the better it looks, the more vibrant the colors come out on it. Now, if you're in the South, you can certainly plant these as well. The one thing you might have trouble with are the little worms that like to eat the cabbage, so you might have to spray them with BT to keep them clean of those caterpillars. But that's a nice organic solution for you if that is a problem that you're going to have there. But I love cabbage and kale. They are so beautiful, and you can tuck them into a pot. And a lot of times when they've grown them in these pots, you can take off a lot of the extra dirt to get them down in the pot, and that way you can really cram them in. You don't have to worry so much in the fall about how much you put in the pot. Your growing season is so short that if you overpack them, it's probably going to be totally fine. And you want to get as much stuff in there as you can so they look great. So let's look at some of the different cabbages and kales that I love to use. All right, this first one that I like, this one here is a kale. It's called Red Boar. Isn't that cool? Look at the ruffly purple leaves on that. I just think that this is so beautiful. This would be absolutely stunning in a pot. There is also smaller pots that you can get, and look at all the different colors and different kinds that you can get, from kale to cabbage. This is a Nagoya red kale. Isn't that beautiful? And I actually don't know what this one is. It didn't have a tag on the pot, but these are beautiful. Put them next to each other, 2 different colors, 2 different textures. They are gorgeous. And look, here's a third one. See, look at that. Beautiful. And I love the little 4-inch pots because you can tuck them in. Now, other ones that you can find, so you can find the bigger ones like this. This is also a Nagoya kale, but this one is the rose color. And this center is what's going to keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And if you have leaves down here that are dying, you can just snap them right off. They just, see, they snap right off. So if they die around the outside edge is where they're going to die first, you can just go in there and just clean those right off. And this thing will just get more vibrant as the season progresses. Beautiful. 2 others that I really like are from the Peacock series. So this is a kale as well, and this one is called Peacock Red. This one here, this one is Peacock White. I love these. They're gorgeous. Number 9 on my list is just a single plant, and it is a creeping Jenny, Lishmakia, but I've been told that I've been saying that wrong by my girl here at the store. I'm not sure how to say it, and she's not here to correct me, but that's what I'm going to call it. So creeping Jenny. But I like these in the pots in fall because if I want a little bit of a drape and I want that beautiful fuchsia yellow color to brighten up my pot, this is absolutely fabulous. They grow in both sun or shade, so I do like that about them. This one is the Aria. Isn't that great? I love that. And again, I can pop this out of the ground and put it, or pop it out of the pot and put it in the ground if I want to. Now, it is a ground cover, but be careful. If it's really happy, it can really spread. So I never use it as a ground cover, but I love it in pots. My signs are starting to get wet. It's been drizzling on and off. So, all right, number 10 on my list are Rebecca or fall Rebecchias. Now, these here in Zone 5, they grow as annuals. But as you go further south, you could probably grow these as perennials. But here, they're annuals. Now, this isn't like your VS Little Susies or your American Gold Rush or like Goldstroms. These are like bred to bloom later and then to repeat bloom if you deadhead them. And you use them either in the ground or in a pot, but they're only good here in Zone 5 through the fall season. Some of the ones I like to carry, this one is from the Toto series. It's called Lemon. It's a shorter cultivar, so it pops in a pot and looks really, really pretty. Check it out. That one's the Rustic. Oh, I like that one too. Let me grab some others and show you. I really like the Rebecca. They are so fall. I just love them. This one is called Autumn Colors. This is a taller one called Prairie Sun. This one is definitely one of my favorites. This one is the Cherokee Sunset. I like this one a lot. I like the 3 colors on there. That red into that orange and then tipped in that yellow. Oh, just gorgeous. This one is called Chocolate Orange. That is pretty. And then they have one called Indian Summer. It's just that nice, pretty yellow. It has more of like that upright look up habit, but it's got that just that beautiful chocolate center with those real clear yellow petals on there. Okay, let's go gather up all our supplies. We'll load up the car and then we'll go get some of these corporate pots done. It's starting to rain pretty decently right now, so I might give it a couple hours and see if it stops and clears up, but we're gonna get that done today, rain or shine. So let's go get it done. Come on. All right, we've loaded up the car with all kinds of goodies, so let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. I would definitely say that these pots are due for a serious makeover. As you can see here, the only thing that looks even halfway decent in this pot is the potato vine. And that's what happens sometimes with corporate pots. If they don't feed them or water them, especially this summer, we've had so many hot days, then they look like this, and they're definitely ready for some refresh. A lot of times I like to place everything still in their pots in the container to make sure that I like the way it's going to go. So I'm liking this, and I think this is what I'm going to do. All right, everything fit in the pot, and I'll show that to you in just a second. But look, I have some cattails that I picked out of the ditch that's in front of our store, and we're going to add these to the pot as well to give it some vertical interest. That's why I like to use the little pots in conjunction with the big pots, and that way I can fit everything in there. Now on some of these bigger ones, I did like this one here in the grass, I did end up shaking like some of the dirt off so I could get them in the pot. And it's okay to overload your pot in the fall because it's not going to be growing that long. But I like how this one turned out. I think it's really interesting, and I like the cattails in there. And here's its partner. So everything that I chose in here will be able to go through a frost. And then the mum, see, it hasn't bloomed yet, but the mum is yellow because I don't want it to be done in a week. So I want it to be blooming maybe in 2 weeks. And that way it still looks really good. So these pots will take them through until I change out to the Christmas pots. So pretty happy with how those turned out. Okay, we're at our next stop. So let's go check out how these guys did. Well, they're looking a little tired and pooped out. We've got some weeds in here. There's a nice little weed in there. And then we have a begonia in here. This was the red cordial. And then we did the mini me coleus from Proven Winners. And then we did just a Dracaena spike. And there was something else in here right here, but I don't know what it was because it's dead. And I don't remember what we put in there. So let's freshen these babies up and bring them back to life. Okay, so this isn't a very big pot. It might be 12 inches from here to here, but we're going to really pack some things in here and make it look great. So I am going to use the Japanese blood grass again because I think it's a great grass to use in the fall. And for now, I'm just going to pull the dirt over to the side. But what I am going to do when I take these out of the pot is I am going to break off a lot of the dirt that's on this. Maybe I'll do it over the garbage can. So I still have a really good intact root ball, but I don't have all that extra dirt, and that way I can really pack a lot of things into the pot. See, so then I can just backfill around that. All right, and because I wanted to mirror the other one, I did a pepper plant right here because she really likes peppers. So we are going to be putting in one of these really pretty peppers. Aren't those pretty? This one here is the Hot Pops Purple. So I really like this one. It's really cute. See, and it's one of the little small pots. So we're going to tuck that in as close to the grass as we can get it. And sometimes you have to think about how they're turned in the pot too. And so like I'm going to turn that one around a little bit. All right, and then next to that, I have a little yellow pansy. Isn't that cute? I'm going to put that little guy right here. And I'm tucking everything up right next to the one that it was in front of. Then I've got this pretty Nagoya red cabbage. And again, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to take it out of the pot and I'm going to break off as much of this dirt that's extra as I can. And when I put this one in the pot, I'm going to turn it a little bit sideways. See how I have that leaning there? In the center of my pot, I'm going to put another pepper. Too much dirt in here, so I am going to pull some of this dirt out. All right, and then I'm just going to put this one right in the center. And then I'm going to use another little kale like this. And instead, I'm going to use this little 3-inch pot. And if you have like leaves on the bottom that look like they're spent, all you have to do is just go in and pinch those off. And then I'm kind of going to like do, so this is going to break up all the yellow. And again, I put it in there a little bit of a lean. So I've got yellow, yellow, purple. And then I'm going to use a small citronella heuchera. And that's what's nice in the fall is sometimes you can find the smaller heucheras. Instead of the gallon pots, you can find these smaller ones in the fall. And they're great for fillers. And then you can take them out if you're in the right zone and put them in the ground. Okay, I realized after I planted it that I was missing a plant. And I was supposed to put a creeping Jenny here. And then the citronella coral bell was supposed to go back here. But I like the way this one turned out. I like the big cabbage in here. I like the creeping Jenny. I like the breakup of the yellow with the purple. There's the little kale in there. There's our little pansy. And the purple pops with the Japanese bloodgrass. So I like the way this one turned out. Okay, last one. Now I don't know how much I'll be able to film the whole process of this one because people will be coming in and out of the door. But potato vine looks pretty good. But the proven winners, the petunias, this was the Mini Vista Scarlet, and then we had a Lantana in here, and then we had the Supertunia Mini Vista Yellow. I think there's a watering. Oh yeah, this is bone dry. Dry. So we're gonna take everything out of this one and start all over on this one too. All right, we got this one done. We ended up doing the intense orange coxcomb up here. And then we did one of the purple pops right here. I did put a little pumpkin stacker in there. I thought that would break it up because it is a fairly large pot. We did some of the orange and yellow pansies with some of the Nagoya red kale on either side. And then we have a little bitty baby cabbage over here. It's a little green one. And then I used an apricot, heuchera, a yellow mum, and then I did use another one of those pumpkin spice heucheras over on this side. And all in all, I love this. I think it turned out so pretty. Oh, and then I did put 3 of the cattails in there. And here is the other one. It just matches this one. Oh, so happy. So pretty. I love it. I hope you guys had a good time going around with me filling the pots. It has started to rain again, and we seriously need the rain. I know I had a good time going out there and refreshing all those pots and making them look fall. Again, it's my favorite time of the year. So hopefully you're inspired to go out and get your pots done, and or hopefully maybe if you just watch this and you're not doing any pots, it puts you in the fall mood. I'm Michelle. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate it very much. You guys keep on gardening. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.